So, fellas, while we were at the One Rental at a Time event, we were inundated with a bunch of different questions. People came up to have side conversations with me, with Dion, with the ADU guy. Mike just got a lot of selfies and book signings.
I didn't have to answer any questions.
But that's when you're the big Z. Me, on the other hand, I had one interesting conversation with a young lady named Amy. Amy came to the event by herself, so shout out to you for coming and driving out there and making that happen. But she had a question for me that I thought we could discuss. And her question was, she told me, she's like, it's impressive that you're a single father, you work a full-time job, police officer, you do your real estate and YouTube channel. Where do you find the time to make that happen? How do you come up with enough time for this? And my assumption was, well, maybe she's a single mom, but has some of the same time constraints that I do. Now, I know what my answer to her was, and I'll tell you. But first, I would say let's ask Dion. Dion, what advice would you give Amy?
So it's great that you asked because she actually came and talked to me a little bit. She had a different approach. She said, "I'm lazy like you are," which
So you were a fan immediately.
I was an immediate fan, and that's been my motivation. Is I want to have that time freedom to be lazy, but to do that, the first few years we have to take the times where we're trying to um, detach, unwind. That time where a lot of people come home from work and Netflix, 3 hours. If you have two or three streaming services and you have two or three favorite shows and you have those streaming services because each one's on a different one, imagine the amount of time that is. That, yes, you can put YouTube in there, but can you put in there learning your market? Can you put in there your auto searches? Instead of, you're still staring at a screen, you're looking at emails, you're looking at your Google Earthing to look at different neighborhoods, and you're looking up crime statistics and whatever your metric you're using to figure out your market. Replace your screen time with productive screen time, because in our house, the television is always referred to as an electronic income reducer.
I like it.
I love that. No, go ahead.
Mike, what advice would you give Amy?
So, again, I can only answer questions with my experience, and I just work. I was always just running, right? I didn't even think. I mean, having three streaming service, I still don't. Yeah, what the hell is a streaming service? So it's just when you want something, you just find and make the time, and you have to make choices. Everybody, in my opinion, is either a morning or an evening person. I feel fortunate that I'm a morning person, and Olivia's evening, because that means we get our own time. Don't waste that, right? For me, again, I've had this habit for 30 years now. Wake up, get the coffee on. Now take care of the dogs. Dogs do what they do in the morning, and then I'm reading for an hour. This is the first thing I do, and that has served me very, very well. And when you do that consistency, you can start to see how things tie together, and you just have to keep. You have to. Everybody has 24 hours. Warren Buffett has 24 hours. Elon Musk has 24 hours. You hear Elon Musk talk about, now that he's over at Twitter, right? He's going, "Oh, I'm only doing 16 hours a day, 7 days a week." I'm like, "You're only doing 16 hours, 7 days a week?" He sleeps on the floor. He does all this. And again, at some point, to me, it's always been, how bad do you want it? Just how bad, like, how strong is your why? Because if your why is not that strong, um, you'll find excuses, or you'll say tomorrow, or you just have to go. Something has to break. It is. I feel very fortunate to understand everybody has 24 hours. Whether you're Steph Curry, who is a warrior, shoots the ball better than he has the same amount of training hours that everybody else does. Nobody is born with that gift. Maybe you have hand-eye coordination or something, but it takes work. It takes discipline. We talk about 2,000 hours to learn a skill. Well, what if you do 10,000 hours? Think about it. 30 years. Let's say rough and tough, that's 30 years times 300. Was that nine? I don't remember. 9,000 days or something. I mean, you do something that much,
Yeah.
You're going to get better.
Yeah.
You just can't help but get better. So that's kind of my thoughts.
I think you said something there, Zuber, that was brilliant, and I think this can actually help Amy. You have to know yourself, and most people really talk about the millionaire habits. What does the average millionaire do in the morning? But Mike talked about, are you a morning or evening person? Because yesterday at the live event, the after lunch presenter who was getting everybody amped up and re-energized.
Yeah, I nailed that one.
It was,
I had him at the right
great
time.
He actually was talking about at one point the affirmations he does in the morning and the things he's thankful for. And I sat back in my chair. I actually texted Mike later, and I said, "That's not me, because in the morning, it takes 30 minutes to wake up. I generally go to bed around 3 in the morning.
Oh.
So if I thought I'm going to get up at 5 or 6 and actually do some stuff, I would never be anywhere.
Yeah, that happened one day.
Once. So if you're not a morning person, that doesn't mean you can't do this. It means you need to
Just do
figure
it.
out your routine is going to be more productive at a different time of day. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the advice that I gave Amy, for what it's worth, is shorten. You do need to know yourself. But here's the thing, and I told her, I said, Amy, I bet you're the type of person when your friends call and need help, you're there. I bet when your family calls and needs help, you go out of your way to help them. You would drop everything on a dime to move mountains for family, for friends, for even probably for just acquaintances. Do you work that hard for yourself? Ooh. Are you willing to show up for you? Because you have these goals, you paid the money, you drove 2.5 hours to get here to this event just to be around other people. Okay, so you're taking the right steps. And I understand going to Dion and telling him, yeah, I'm a little bit lazy too. Well, you have to postpone the laziness until you've earned it. And I want you to earn it. But at the end of the day, nobody can show up for you except for you. You have to work the overtime. You have to stay late, get up early. You have to put the Netflix down. I said, do you have Netflix? I don't. Do you have Disney Plus? I don't. I go to the gym, spend time with my son. I work on real estate, YouTube, and I work my regular job. And if you do that for 10 years, you can be as lazy as you want for the rest of your life.
That's the exact point. So you're in the earning financial freedom stage, still have your W-2, so you don't have the streaming services, you focus, you have a son to raise. Mm-hmm. That was me for several years. That is not me now. So if you're the person who thinks I'm lazy and I can pull this off, that's the motivation to literally that 30 minutes to decide to wake up in the morning is somewhere between 6 a.m. and 2 in the afternoon. Then the 30 minutes starts. You can't do that for the first 5 years.
Yeah.
But if that's the life you want, you're going to have to be the one that puts in the effort, learns the strategy, actually takes action, does the work to get to the point where you can do that. And then people can pick on you and you won't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's all I had for the topic for the videos I wanted to discuss. Amy, I hope it's helpful for you. And Mike, as always, thanks for just inviting me over, having me around.
This is fun. Yeah. All right. We'll do something else. Let's see. Thanks.
Ciao.
Ciao.